Welcome to my wise insight of the day. And this, I think, is another pretty interesting topic to talk about how women and also men, but specifically speaking here, women, I feel like that you could be subtly being controlled or held back, your freedom being suppressed in a relationship with a man. And this goes both ways. And so we'll get into that. Before I want to start off just saying, I feel like the Me Too movement is a powerful and great movement because it's bringing a voice to women, allowing a woman to have her voice of the pain that has been suppressed in the past. And I think it's good, all these things being brought to the surface. And as I was thinking about this, there's also, I feel like, the next movement that's coming. And I feel like that's where, how often when we are in a relationship, or women, when you're in a relationship and your man tries to control who you can communicate with, tries to control who you can be friends with, tries to control who you're friends on Facebook with. And I feel like this is one of the unhealthy ways that, and again, this goes both ways, because women do this to men just as much. But I would also say in this case that men are actually responsible for creating the space in which a woman can feel safe in. And if a man is feeling insecure about himself and about his woman talking with another man, then he's going to try to control that. And this is the old masculine the old alpha male paradigm, or the old masculine paradigm that's rooted around control, and control in this case being rooted in insecurity of a man. And so women, I'm bringing this attention that if this is happening, this is another way that you're actually being suppressed, that you're actually being, like, a man is trying to control who you can be friends with and who you can develop relationship with. I actually think that that's crazy. And women, I'm also going to say, like, so one, I would say in this case, a man really taking the responsibility, because if a man is already insecure in this sense, then it also will bring up insecurities in a woman, and it will say, well, if I can't be friends with, well, then you can't be friends with. Then it just creates this whole unhealthy dynamic. And so first off, I wanted to bring this dynamic to your attention, women, that I think this is unhealthy, and this is a way that I feel like is the next movement, in a way for you to say, hey, no, I want to be friends with that person. I want to be friends with that man. This isn't threatening to you. But then you got to work things out in communication, and that means that perhaps the man also needs to do some work too. And so now, men, if you find yourself in this case where you feel like you have to try to control your woman in a way where you're like trying to say who she can and can't be friends with, I would suggest that this is rooted in fear that she could be taken away, and insecurities about yourself. And so men, this is an opportunity for you to love the one who feels insecure. Men, this is an opportunity to step into vulnerability and out of control. And so this is the work. This is the work. And so and this is to your own inner child, to your own little boy inside, to the one who feels insecure, to the one who feels afraid. I love you. I love you. And women too, when this is coming up, when you feel like that you might be having that same thing to your man, you can't go and talk to that woman or whatever, this is another opportunity to love the one who feels insecure. And so as we do this work on both sides, and again, I would say in this case, in a relationship dynamic, the man being more responsible for creating the container of the relationship. And obviously, women, if you can find a man who can lead it in this way, and men, this is an opportunity calling to you to take more responsibility for the container of the relationship that you create, and doing the work internally so that we can bring an end to these control paradigms, so that we can have healthy relationships where we don't feel like we have to control our partner. And so that's doing the work around insecurity, or places where we may feel like that we're not good enough. And then developing more healthy patterns of communication, because as you begin to love the parts of you that feel insecure and give your partner more freedom, there might be jealousy that comes up. There might be insecurities that come up. And if you can communicate about these with your partner, then that's even better. And you can say, hey, I want to move through this. I want to work through this. I don't want to try to feel like I'm trying to control who you can be friends with. Again, this is both sides right now. So men, women, this is a calling to you to say, hey, just to bring this awareness to you, that this may be a subtle way that you're being controlled or suppressed in a relationship by a man. And you don't have to allow that to happen. And men, this is a calling to you to step into greater levels of self-acceptance, greater levels of loving your own self, so that you can bring an end to trying to control your partner in these ways. And I feel like as we do the work on both sides, we're going to create greater and healthier relationships all around. So with that, that's my wise insight of the day. Please leave your interesting comments or questions below. I'm sure this will generate a lot of great conversations. And with that, have an amazing day.